I feel like I don't fit in, like, I feel like I'm a square peg in a round hole sometimes.
Mhm.
And that's my frustration with the feminist movement because I've encountered some women who feel like I'm not fitting into the mold like the way they want. And it's like, no, I am for women, but I have my way and there's things that I do and my opinion is my opinion. I'm
Yeah.
Welcome to Posh Plastic, the Y2K nostalgia podcast. Here's Amber and Kylie.
wind up, wind down, and let's hit rewind.
Well, welcome back to Posh Plastic. I'm Kylie, and here's my co-host, the Annie to my Hallie, Amber.
Hi guys.
Yeah, so if you guys didn't know, when we do those duos, we've started to where we're like keeping it a surprise from each other just to
Yes.
see each other's reactions.
So good. That was so good.
I thought it would be an iconic one to do.
Yes. Okay, so we have some things that I saw we need to talk about. So first
Yes.
of all, I saw this new show. I don't know if you noticed it. So it's Pretty Little Liars Summer Camp. It's a show.
Okay, yes.
Yes. Okay.
Do you know anything about it?
Nothing. That's why I wanted to ask you.
Okay. So last year, or maybe it was 2 years ago, there was it's not necessarily a spinoff, but it is in the Pretty Little Liars universe, and it's
Mhm.
called Original Sin.
Oh, okay.
And that is season 1 to this show, and they're just titling the season Summer Camp or Summer School, I
Okay.
think is what it is.
Oh, okay.
But it's basically just a season 2 of that one. I personally enjoy this one. I tried
Mhm.
The Perfectionist that had uh Allison and Emily, I think it was.
Uh-huh.
Like that one sucked. But
Okay.
this one is all new girls, but it is in the same universe because they do reference like Ezra. But they're like a few towns over.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
I I know some people don't like the show, but I personally do because it's not trying to add on to that story. And
Yeah.
this one it's not the same, since this one, the way it's edited more so reminds me of like your classic horror movie.
Oh, okay.
So it's not trying to be Pretty Little Liars. It just is in the same universe.
Okay, so it's like okay, that's interesting because that's what I was worried about too. I was like, is this another like Gossip Girl like part 2 type of like situation? Or is it like just like you said, in the same kind of universe type thing?
Yeah, it's the same universe. And I would argue it's kind of the same time because in Gossip Girl, in the remake, it's like we're doing this on
Mhm.
Instagram where it was text, and they stay true to that in Pretty Little Liars. So it's like just texting,
Okay, interesting.
and we're going on websites. We're not all up on our apps. So they keep it. We're a little bit back in time, thank
Oh,
goodness.
okay. Okay, because I like that. I'm interested. And the thing is, like, it wasn't that well, I don't know what it was. It was probably because I had a bunch of other shows. I never really got into Pretty Little Liars super heavily. I read
Tisk
some of the books
tisk.
a little bit. I know. I did watch some of it because it's not a bad show. And I
No,
will
I get
say
it. It went everywhere.
it was
It
confusing to keep up with.
It was, yeah. I will admit that as someone who watched it all the way through. It was tough, but I don't know. I just love the lore. I love their
Yeah.
fashion, and it's kind of set back in time a little bit.
Yeah, I will say that's what I liked about it, was like it was the fashion and that it felt modern, but with like a throwback twist. I think that's what it
Yeah.
was. But it was
Yes.
just the whole A thing, like knowing what I know and then knowing what I didn't know, like the whole thing was a lot.
Yeah.
For that. I'm not gonna ruin it. For
Yes.
for that, it was a lot.
Yes. But yeah, I actually watched the first 2 episodes this weekend of the
Okay.
summer school. So, I mean, it is what it is. It's like what I liked about it is the first season ended on a note to where you could walk away from the show. Like it
Ooh,
concludes everything,
okay.
except for like we still don't know who A is.
Right.
Like this has a conclusion. And then you're starting with the newer plot line in season 2.
Okay. I kinda
Uh,
like that.
so if you hate season 1, you don't have to continue.
Interesting. Okay. Okay, and this is on Max, I said, so
Yeah.
I can dabble in that. There's no commercials
And
on
it
Max.
has, God, I think her name's Bailey Madison. I get so confused because there's a Bailey Madison and there's a Madison Bailey. Like one is the girl who
Uh-huh.
plays Kiara in Outer Banks, but the one I'm
Okay.
talking about, I'm pretty sure it's Bailey Madison because their names are just flipped. But she played Girl Max in Wizards of Waverly Place.
Oh, let me look her up.
So
Yeah,
she's
Bailey Madison.
okay. She's one of the they're not the liars, but she's one of the
She's one of the like main cast members,
yeah.
basically. Okay. Okay. She kind of gives me like her vibe gives me like Jenna Ortega vibes, kind of.
Yeah. I've only seen her in a handful of things, but I have to say consistently she's a good actress, especially for
Yeah.
her age. She really understands the art of acting.
Oh, okay, cool. Then I'm gonna have to explore her a little bit because all I know her from is Wizards of Waverly Place
Yeah.
playing Girl Max. So
Yeah, I've just seen her in a handful of things when she was little, but
hmm.
I mean, it seems like she stays working, so but
But for her.
yeah, so she's in that. Yeah, so you could check it out, and if you don't like it,
No
you
skin off my
can
back.
yeah.
Like, okay, yeah. I mean, I've watched worse. Like, I will say, like, I didn't watch Pretty Little Liars, but I spent my time watching part of Secret Life of the American Teenager. Okay, we can all hate me for that. So,
And we will have to do an episode on that show.
oh my gosh, yeah. I just started to try to rewatch it a little bit on Hulu. It's. I don't know how I watched the show, to be honest.
Yeah.
But we'll get into that. Save it.
Yeah, we'll save it. But we have other news.
Yes. Do you want to?
Sure. The Biebers are expecting their first child.
Yay. You
Yeah.
know, it's crazy to me, and I guess it's not crazy. It's always interesting to me how these actresses and musicians are able to, hi Simba, are able to hide their pregnancy for so long because she's about 6 months now, so she's pretty big.
She is?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's like 6 months. That's what I was reading somewhere.
Oh, the photos I saw were just a little bump.
I thought they said she was, well, she's
I
little in
mean,
general.
that's what I'm saying. Like, she
Yeah.
might be 6 months
Let
pregnant.
me
I
look.
just thought she was maybe 4 or 5.
Elle said why Justin and Hailey Bieber, why did I say that so weird? Bieber kept her pregnancy secret for 6 months. Yeah, she's 6 months pregnant.
Okay. Yeah, I love them. I think, I don't know. I've always been like sided with them because he chose to marry her and like we should respect that that's his wife and whatnot. And I just don't get the hate on her, like, because
People hate her.
I don't understand it. Like, she married a man that wanted to marry her and she wanted to marry him. Like, what is the big deal?
I mean, we know what the big deal is, but they're also mad that she's a Nepo baby. And it's like, he was gonna marry a different Nepo baby. It didn't matter which one, really.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he was going like he was dating Sophia Richie, who is also a Nepo baby.
Right? Like, were you gonna be mad at her too? Like, God. So
Yeah.
stupid. Just say that you want to marry Justin Bieber and move on. Like, we get it.
Yeah, so it's I'm happy for them. I haven't seen any like rude comments about it, thank goodness.
Neither.
So it's yeah, I think I just see people like joking with the song That Should Be Me and they're like acting dramatic. Like those are funny, but like I haven't
Yeah.
I always see like such hateful things being said about her and I'm really glad
Yeah.
that people have shut up about it.
Well, I don't think there's other people in the forefront or in the background, I should say, that are like pushing that narrative either. I don't
Yeah.
think they can push that narrative with her being pregnant because it's like, then you're just a massive asshole.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I hope
think
it's over for her though, because
I hope so too.
she seems sweet.
She's gonna be like one of those cool moms. Like I can already tell.
Yeah.
Like she's giving off that vibe where she's gonna be like dressed really cool and she's gonna have like the baby on the hip. Like it's just I already see it.
Exactly.
I'm so excited for them.
But what are you binging this week?
Okay. I am binging Lush. Their bath bombs are everything.
They are. You got me hooked on Lush.
I love Lush. I went in there and I went like blind this weekend. I read up because I'll go. That's what I usually do. So Eric has the better Lush at his mall, and so it's very cool. They have a Lush bath bomb wall. Like, I'm not even kidding. It's like a whole
Oh,
wall, and it just goes down the line of like each one that they have, and it's just like this big ass wall. You just
I
pick it
like
up
how you
and
said that he has the better Lush at his mall because I don't even have a Lush anywhere here, and it's so sad.
what?
Yeah,
No.
because like I know you sent me some Lush for Christmas,
Yeah.
and then Nicholas went last fall back to Arizona for a conference, and he made it a point to stop at Lush for me and bring me home some bath bombs too. But
Oh my God, that's it. Now I'm
yeah.
gonna have to go back. I'll get some for you. I'll send you some because I didn't know. I thought you had Lush.
Oh
Okay.
no. No, but he has there's like this brand online. He orders me like a box of 12 from every so often. It's like
Mhm.
something about two angels is but they're like
Cool.
handmade bath bombs. So that's what he gets me now.
I love that. So you're still getting your bath bombs, and
Yes.
shout out to Nicholas. What a good idea.
Yeah. But I thought it
Uh,
was sweet that he was like, I'm in Tucson. Let me stop at Lush.
I love that. That's true love right there, guys.
Yes. If he won't go to Lush for you, he's not the one.
Literally, I drag Eric in there with me. Poor guy, too. Like, he just stands there.
That's so weird. I could see him being like, I don't, because do you have a Lush where you can make it there?
Make what?
Like the soaps or the bath bombs?
Oh God, no. Is that a thing?
I think so. I feel like I went into like one in Scottsdale or something years
Well,
ago.
Scottsdale is bougie, though. Well, so is Orange County. I don't know why I'm saying like they're not bougie here.
I
I
don't
haven't.
know.
Is that a thing? I'll look that up later. 1111 Make a Wish. Sorry. I'll look into that. What are you binging?
I have been binging some rainstorm sound
Oh,
baths, like either on YouTube or I have an app called Finch. That's a great
mm,
mental health. Yeah, let me tangent on what Finch is really quick.
yes.
So Finch is like, okay, your Tamagotchi kind of. You get this, it's called a bird, but it's a bird. Um, and you get
Oh,
to name it, and the way you take care of it is by taking care of yourself, and you check off what you've done. So, and you can set your own things. So I do like, I walked the dog, I read, I meditated, I did my yoga, I ate healthy today, I exercised. And like, as I'm checking these things off, Ellie, who is my burb, um, she gets taken care of for the day. And then you can you get like little coins, or you can buy clothes for her. You have like a nest, and you can make like design your nest furniture and stuff. And then you can have friends too. So like I made Nicholas get this app, and you can
yeah.
send each other like hugs or good morning or like just different little notes like calm
Yeah.
or a water break, and just kind of reminds them of things in the day too. And you get points for that as well.
Interesting.
So anyway, that app has the options to take little sound baths, if you will.
Uh-huh.
There's like different, like there's sounds imitating like if you're walking through a store, and like just sounds you would hear walking through a shop, like whether it's people
Hmm.
talking or like something being put down on a shelf type of thing. There's a ton of things, but I primarily just
Yeah.
stick with the rainstorms because those knock me out.
Oh, me too. I love. No, because I was telling you, I was like, I've been needing things to fall asleep to, and I've been turning other things on, like my TV and stuff. Not great because it has a timer and it shuts off. But like you had said YouTube, and I'm like, well, that makes sense because I kept forgetting to like order a sound machine because like 90s, like that was what we had, right? You got a sound
Yeah.
machine, like, and so now I'm not even realizing like, oh, I could just turn YouTube on and just like be good to
Yeah,
go.
they have some that run for like 7 hours on there.
That I love it. I
Sometimes I
know.
listen to those even if I'm just like it's 11 in the morning and I'm just trying to read and just stay
Yeah.
focused on whatever I'm doing. I'll just throw that on.
It might even be good for work because like it's quiet in my house when I'm working, so I open up my window to start hearing like whatever's happening outside. But
Hmm.
sometimes that can even get distracting.
Yeah.
So it's like I can still open my window, but then I'll turn on like YouTube in the background.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. I
Try
learned something new.
it. Okay, so let's get into new phone who dis.
Yes, I'm so
Mhm.
excited.
I'm gonna read this super monotone because if I read it in the same diction, it would be a dead giveaway.
Okay.
Okay. I said Schneeky Schnorman Schneeler. It means please don't hurt me in German.
Oh, Lord.
I'll read it in its normal diction at the end and see if
Okay.
it helps. I don't know if you're gonna get it, but I heard
don't
it the
know if
other
I
day and
am
I was like,
either.
I forgot about that.
I'm like hearing it and like I'm racking my brain. I'm like, I swear I've heard this quote before. I say this every time I feel, but I know I've heard this. I just don't know if I know where.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay.
But today, guys, we have a fun topic.
Yay!
Tell them what it is.
Yes. Okay. We are going over the movie Legally Blonde.
Yay! And I had never watched this. I'd seen bits, but I'd never watched a show before. Amber's like, we should cover this. And we had seen some ads for a Broadway show of this. And so we were like, it's a good time to do it. So, and it got added to Max. So I was like, okay, let's do this. So I watched it. So this was my first time watching this, guys, was research for this episode, just for some background here.
Love that. No, I will say I remember watching this movie when I was younger, and the one thing that sticks out to me, I will never forget it because it's the dumbest kid thing I've ever done. But I was a kid, I didn't know any better. It was when Brooke is talking about her husband to the lawyer, and they're like, well, it doesn't, something like along the lines of, well, it doesn't make sense of you being like your husband being like 34 years your senior or whatever. And she goes, well, just like talk about his dick, and then like they'll shut up. And as a kid, I remember turning to my mom and going, what does that mean? And she literally goes, well, dick is like a nickname for Richard or whatever. Like I remember this so vividly, and it just every time I watch the movie, I'm like, you fucking idiot.
That is so funny. Well, you're not that's supposed to go over your head as a kid. So that's
It
kind of funny
did.
you asked and you're like, what does that mean? Because normally kids are like, whatever.
Yeah, and my mom, I just so shout out to that. But yeah, let's roll into one of my favorite things. I love a good synopsis. Shout out to my belted outfit. Where did you find that? Facebook?
The depths of your Facebook. I was like, I need to go back and like find some old photos of Amber. And I was like, this is perfect. Like the saturation and the contrast on this image, it's giving 2007.
Oh my God. The belt. Oh my God. Just, you guys can enjoy that because that was so bad. But anyway, so I had like a whole synopsis all written out, and basically I scrapped it because I found a better one on IMDb. This girl, Vanessa, wrote it. So shout out to Vanessa Whistler, 1971. Thank you. Yours was better. So I'm just gonna read yours. So Elle Woods has it all. She is the president of her sorority, a Hawaiian tropics girl, Miss June in her campus calendar, and above all, a natural blonde. She dates the cutest fraternity boy on campus and wants nothing more than to be Mrs. Warner Huntington III. But there's just one thing stopping Warner from popping the question. Elle is too blonde. Growing up across the street from Aaron Spelling might mean something in Los Angeles, California, but nothing to Warner's East Coast blue blood family. So when Warner packs up for Harvard Law and reunites with an old sweetheart from prep school, Elle rallies all her sources and gets into Harvard, determined to win him back. But law school is a far cry from the comforts of her poolside and the mall. Elle must wage the battle of her life for the guy, herself, and for all the blondes who suffer endless indignities every day. I just thought that was so good, right? Loves it. Perfect. So, just some little quick facts on it is it was directed by Robert Luketic.
Sounds right to me.
Yep, sounds right to me too. Screenplay was written by Karen McCullough Lutz and Kirsten Smith. The movie's actually based on a book. I didn't know that. Also, Legally Blonde, titled by Amanda Brown. So interesting. I may go try to find this book and read it and see, like, I mean, I know it's going to be kind of loosely based, but I'm curious to see the readings of it.
Yeah.
Producers were Mark Platt and Rick Kidney. Production companies were Type A Films, Mark Platt Productions, and Metro Goldwyn Mayer.
MGM.
Yeah, MG, exactly. I don't know why they did that. That was stupid. Yeah, because it was distributed by MGM Distribution Company in 26. Can I say words? I've been drinking coffee. And 20th Century Fox. The release date was July 13th, 2001. The runtime was 96 minutes, and the box office total for the movie was 141.8 million.
That's a lot for 2001.
Right? That's huge.
Oof. Yes. So, as I mentioned, this was my first time watching the movie, and I actually went back and I watched it a second time before we came to record because me and my color analysis, I picked up on the symbolism right away of the colors in this movie. There's primarily pink and orange are the colors I noticed. However, there's a little bit of pink or purple and blue as well. So I did do some research to see if I'm the only one that picked up on this. I'm not. So I found a gentleman named Ian on YouTube who went through a whole thing, and uh he helped me kind of figure out what the orange symbolized.
Oh,
So
okay.
he used the terms growth under confinement, and
Interesting.
it relates to Brooke being in an orange jumpsuit as a prisoner, right?
Right.
So he prefaces his video. We're gonna link it in our show notes because it's a great analysis. He does keep saying throughout the video though, like, I'm reaching here, like I am really reaching, so take it or leave it. And so I will say some of the things I left, but some of them I kept. But there's a lot of orange in this movie. So I'm gonna break down the orange first.
Okay.
I mean, as I said, prisoners wear orange, but at the beginning of the movie, we see a note that Elle gets from her friends, and then there's an orange flower on her wall or her door, her bedroom door, and then there's a lot of notes of orange in her bedroom. And then we hear her say, "Whoever said orange is the new pink is seriously disturbed." So then we go into the restaurant where she's about to get dumped, and it is a reddish orange, but it is a hint of orange. The tablecloths are kind of a reddish orange. And then she, she has her little breakdown and then leaves, and she's walking down the street and he's kind of following her, trying to get her in the car. And I noticed that the whole building is that red orange color.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then he takes her home, and of course she goes to turn around and talk to him, and he's gone. I noticed her house, and it's dark at this time, so I'm like, maybe it's the lighting, but her house looks like it's got an orange tint. And then immediately it flashes to the next day. Her house is in fact an orange tint. Like her sorority house. So I thought that was interesting. And then this is the YouTuber Ian had pointed out red hair also being, when you really look at it, it's orange. So orange hair plays a role even in this color theory. So
yes.
One of her best friends, the pessimistic one of the group, has red hair, and she is wearing a lot of orange throughout this film.
Oh, yeah.
She actually wears the same outfit twice, I noticed. She's got one that it's like a tealish blue with orange stripes down the side.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
Twice.
Okay.
It's interesting. But yeah. We also see the nail salon the first time they go in there. Lots of orange. And there's a woman that works at the front desk. She's got orange hair. But yeah, in the first scene they go in there after she gets dumped, it's covered in orange.
That's interesting. Well, it's interesting because I remember specifically with the pessimistic friend, I don't know if there's any orange in this scene, but she's talking to the nail tech in whatever language, and she's basically saying like she got dumped or whatever, and she's like she's pathetic or what essentially.
That's the scene I'm talking about. That
yeah.
It's full of orange.
Okay, I thought even the petri dish was orange too.
Yeah, probably because they've got like lamps and everything. Like everything's orange.
Yeah.
Then we have Elle going to the admissions office to assess what she needs to do to get into Harvard. And as she's leaving the office, she gets up. Her pants are orange.
Ah. You're gonna make me watch this movie again after this today.
I'm telling you, once I noticed this, I'm like, I'm gonna have to watch this beginning to end and pick all this up. Then we have her wearing orange when she's wearing orange when she goes with Jennifer Coolidge's character to get the dog, dumbass.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so she's
oh yeah.
she's wearing, I think it might be a turtleneck, it might not, but the neck
She's
piece
got
and
the
it goes
hat.
down, and that is orange. Then it goes to pink, and then at the bottom it's orange.
Interesting. The one thing I remember about her outfit there is the hat that she's wearing, because it's like that knit hat.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to watch it again.
And then she is wearing an orange sweater when she submits her resume, and she wears an orange scarf on her first day of the internship. So she is growing under this confinement still. And then this is where she gets reunited with Brooke, and Brooke's obviously in a jumpsuit. And then we go back to when she goes and visits Brooke, and she goes, "You look so orange," which necessarily isn't an insult. I think it's kind of the writers or whatever way to point out this,
like, what's going on here?
the symbolism. Yeah.
Right.
And then I noticed her lipstick has an orange tint to it when she goes to visit the so Brooke's deceased
the
husband's ex-wife. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So when she goes to visit her, she's got an orange tint in her lipstick, but also the spa room that the ex-wife is in, there's orange lights, there's an orange wall, and there's orange decor. That room is orange. And that's when she says she's lying.
Right. Okay.
So I thought that was interesting. And then when she sees the other law student, the kind of quirky one, getting rejected by a girl he's asking out. The girl's got red hair.
Oh yeah, she did.
Or orange hair for my theory. For my theory. And then I also noticed the prosecution, that attorney has red hair. So that's wrapping up the orange here. So that is representing the growth under confinement. So even though we're feeling imprisoned, we're still pushing for growth throughout this movie. And then we have the pink, and going forward, I did use his help for the orange, but the rest are all my own theories. So bear with me if you're like, she's insane. But for me, pink represents like female empowerment in this movie. So when Ella's fully confident in this movie, she's wearing all pink.
Yep.
Like when thinks she's going to get proposed to, she is in the boutique where she's trying to find an outfit, and they're like, well, why don't you just wear your signature color? And she's like, well, that's my everyday look. I can't look like I do every day when I'm for this special day. And then she comes down the stairs in all pink. And then at the very end, when she enters the courtroom after Brooke says she's getting new representation, all pink.
So iconic.
Yep. And then when she's doing her admissions video, her essay, she's in a pink bikini. And it does switch throughout the video, but her intro and conclusion are in a pink bikini.
Interesting. Okay, because I remember specifically the green one, but I think she switches from green to pink a lot in that one.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
I
that's
think
what I
she's
thought.
wearing like 3 or 4 different suits.
Oh, you're right, because I think there's a blue one too. Okay, so you're right.
So, but just, yeah, when she is fully like herself, she's in all pink. And then, yeah, so that was my thing. And then I noticed that there were some roles for blue and purple as well. The blue really popped out at the beginning for me, and I knew that there had to be some symbolism with this one, because when Elle gets her results for the LSATs back and the sisters are all rushing together for her to open it and get see her score, majority of them are in blue, in like a baby blue. And so I knew that had to symbolize something.
Okay.
And so for me, blue symbolizes in this movie like women supporting women.
Okay. That's interesting. When I see blue, typically like they say, because there's like emotions behind specific colors, they say it's like a calming color. So I'm
Yeah.
wondering if specifically, like you said, support and calmness and like
Well,
togetherness
okay,
kind of.
so
Okay.
that I don't think color psychology applies in this movie because orange is normally like optimistic, welcoming, inviting.
Oh. Okay.
So I
So
think they picked out specific colors to represent things.
got it. Okay. Good to know.
Yeah. So that's what I got on here. And then when they're getting the dog, dumbass, Jennifer Coolidge is wearing pink and blue. So
Oh, okay.
I feel like she's getting supported, and then Elle is growing in that
Right.
moment as a lawyer. And then Selma Blair, when she starts coming around to Vivian starts coming
Mhm.
around to Elle and, you know, starting to be nicer to her. She's in that baby blue top with the pearls.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And then at the very end of the movie, I realized purple did have a role in this too. I did notice
Ooh.
pops of purple, but I didn't really understand until the very end it clicked for me. So the first time I noticed it and wondered is when she's laying in bed on that pillow, it's
Mhm.
purple when she throws the chocolates and says,
Oh, yeah.
"Water." So I noticed it then, but at the very end where she is back in the salon saying goodbye to Jennifer Coolidge, and we see the well, I'll get to that in a second. Um, so it's a lot of purple. Like the
Yeah.
lamps are now purple, the blinds are purple, everything's purple with a little bit of a splash of blue.
Mhm.
So I kind of equivalate the purple to Elle's emotions.
Okay.
It's a very emotional scene, and she's expressing her emotions just the way she was when she was feeling her feels eating chocolate, watching movies. So it's
Oh,
kind
mhm.
of her safe space to express her emotions. And
Interesting.
then we flash over and you hear a voice, and it's that hard ass professor, the woman professor. And
Mhm.
she's saying, you know, like, I wouldn't see you to be somebody to give up, but I guess, you know, and she's
Yeah.
kind of giving her some tough love, but some woman support. And it switches to where it's mostly blue with a splash of purple,
Oh,
and you don't see the purple anymore. So that is the end of my long ass
interesting.
color theory, guys. Sorry, but I had to address this because I love seeing little details in movies and we don't see them enough anymore, but I had to break this all down for you.
No, this is extremely enlightening to me, and honestly, this this makes me wanna watch the second movie and do a color analysis as well because the
I
second
didn't
movie definitely
really
has.
see much compared to this
Oh,
one.
okay. I feel like the color I guess there wouldn't really be color analysis because, like, a lot of them are wearing black and gray, and really the big thing is, like, it's just the women, or I guess the empowerment of wearing pink throughout the
Yeah.
second movie,
Yeah, it's a
really.
lot of pink, but
Yeah,
this one had multiple colors kind of telling the story.
that's true. Have you seen the second one as well?
I saw probably like 3/4 of it last night,
Yeah,
and then I don't know.
I know.
I wanted to go to bed.
No, it's a good movie. I mean, overall, like, for a second movie, I will say it was pretty decent,
Yeah.
but it's not like, unfortunately, it's, like, not, like, amazing. It's a second movie, so
It kind of reminded me of like what is it? Sharpay's Adventure or whatever. I never watched
yes,
that, but I felt
but it's
like
got that vibe.
yeah.
Well, I think the second movie came out around this time when a lot of those types of movies were coming out, and I think there was, like, their little spin-off of those twin British girls that did, like, a
Yeah.
Legally Blonde too, so
Yeah, I remember that. The twins from Sweet Life of Zach and
yeah.
Cody.
Okay, I didn't know if you knew.
Oh yeah, I remember. I never watched it, but I remember it being like a TV movie.
Yeah, for sure. This movie had so many iconic, funny moments. It was, like, hard to keep up with how many of them. I mean, I think, like, and it was very, 2000s. Of course, it came out in 2001. So we're gonna
Yes.
have all these, like, 2000s, like, things. So, like, there's a lot of montaging and a lot of, the movie starts as a very quintessential 2000s movie, right? Where it's, like, kind of moving through these different scenes of, like, the sorority house, and you're kind of getting this feel of what the movie's going to kind of be about, you know?
Yeah, and on top of that, we hear Sun's Up and it's
Yep.
Perfect Day by Hoku, which I can't I feel like we could do a whole episode on that song and how many movies it's been on. Like Hoku must have made so much money off of that movie being in movies.
They are living their best lives.
Like that is the 2000s movie soundtrack song.
Yes. And I will say, like, with this whole montage of her, like, getting ready to go to dinner with Warren, like, her friends straight up gaslight her into thinking she's getting engaged.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Do you think they knew?
No. No, I think they genuinely thought, like, she was gonna end up with him. I think,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't think they intentionally. I think they were gassing her up, but not gaslighting her. Because it makes sense, right? Like they dated all of college. It's their graduation. Like it would make sense if he's asking her to dinner to ask her or to talk to her about something. It would be that, right?
I guess so. I guess so. Yeah.
Especially as somebody of her confidence level and self-assurance. Like I feel like that's an attractive quality and
Mm-hmm.
you're not really expecting her to get dumped.
I guess that's what it is like I already knew what was gonna happen. So I'm
Yeah.
like, why are you doing this? Gassing her up for something that's about to just go down. Um, but yeah, and then of course, like the iconic like scene where the saleswoman basically tries to sell her like that
Yeah.
last season dress.
And rips off the tag, the clearance tag, like the
Mhm.
way she tells her off, but in a professional, like in her customer service voice, which she doesn't
Mhm.
even have to do because she is the customer.
It's the way that she does it, and the saleswoman is just left with nothing left to say. Like she
Yeah.
schools her ass.
It almost reminds me of Pretty Woman when she gets to go back and be like, oh yeah,
Yep.
you work off commission? Big mistake.
Yep. I've seen this scene more recently, so I'm like, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh, I love that movie.
Oh, I mean, and then I think the breakup scene, the quote is just so funny to me. Like the whole breakup scene is just wild. Also, her shrieking, her shriek cries, it's a hard no for me.
And he's like, she had a bad salad.
And then, but it's funny because if you listen, somebody in the background goes, well, I'm not getting the salad now.
Yeah.
But she goes, so you're breaking up with me because I'm too blonde? What? My boobs are too big? And I'm like, valid questions, girl. Like,
Oh, yes.
I mean, the list just goes on with all the iconic scenes, I feel like. Um, I don't know. I feel like it all really kind of funnels into our like cunty moment of the week, which is like,
Yeah, let's
do you
get
want
into
to?
it.
Yeah, okay. So
A
like,
little bit cunty.
yeah, the whole movie is based on like, just the feminine movement, right? Like she's clearly
Mhm.
like being confident and she's showing that like, hey, women can do whatever the fuck we want, essentially. Um, I think like my favorite is like, what are your backups? And she tells the admissions office, like, I don't need backups. I'm going to Harvard. Like,
Yeah, I think it's a really great movie, and there's an argument on what the feminist is. I think this is the feminist that's there's room for everyone.
yeah,
Like I feel like a lot of feminists now are just like female power, and now it's for her it's like no, there's a seat at the table for me too, which is the core of what feminism is. Like
literally.
you can sit here too, but there is room for me, and I love her confidence, and
Yeah,
I think also it kind of is empowering of a blonde. You can't judge somebody's IQ based off how they look.
exactly. Yeah, I think there's this weird divide, even with like some women who are a part of the feminist movement, where if you're not like enough a part of it, like they don't really want your support. And it's like, I am a woman. I can be a feminist if I want to be. Like, you can't tell me that I'm not. And I think this movie kind of gives that message. It lets
Yeah.
women know, it reminds them, like,
Yeah.
you are worth it. It doesn't matter if they say you're not.
Yeah. And I mean, speaking of blondes becoming lawyers, we could talk about Ashley Brilliant, like Kate
Oh my God.
Sanders. We'll just
Yeah.
throw it back. I always have to make Lizzie relevant, but
Yeah, she's like a criminal defense lawyer, right? Like she's up there doing her damn
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
I think something that's interesting that I could point out too is I've seen on TikTok, there's this one woman who she was working for a law firm. She was a lawyer and she wanted to dress like Elle Woods, like in pink and stuff. And they basically said like, no, you can't do that. You're a lawyer. You have to act professionally. And she said, fuck you guys. And she left and started her own firm.
Good. Yeah, like, sorry guys, there's room for women too. And it just, like, okay, maybe this is going out of the country moment, but, and going back to iconic
It's fine.
moments, but when he's like, don't be tapping your foot at me, and it clicks that he's gay,
Yeah.
and she's like, he's gay, he's gay.
Yep.
Like, I don't know, it's, she picked that up and not nobody else in the room would have. So I think there's
Yeah.
room for everybody at the table, because if you utilize everyone's talents, you're gonna have a better outcome.
And I think to your point, which I think is so interesting too, is like she may not do it the way you do it, but she still like but she won her case, right? Like with Callahan, he kept like pushing her to the side because essentially he thought she was a dumb, pretty girl, you know, typical douchebag, essentially. And yeah, she said, no, I am smart enough. I am confident enough. And just because you think my silly, knowledge on hair and fashion is unimportant, well, guess what? I'm going to win this fucking case with it.
Yeah.
Like,
And in the way that they are treating women in this, like, when Warner says, well, with the life I want, I need to marry a Jackie, not a Marilyn.
yeah,
Excuse me? Marilyn was a brilliant woman.
it's,
She was also sexy, and she was also
yeah.
beautiful, but she was also a smart woman.
But exactly, that's to the point of where men think that women can't be both. They think you can either be pretty, but you can't be smart. Like
Yeah.
you can't have both. And it's, as we've learned over the years, like that's clearly not the case.
Yeah. There's a
So.
woman, sorry to get off topic, but let me pull up her last name. Her name is Kelly Girardi. And
Already, okay.
she is an astronaut. She is a stylish astronaut. I freaking love her.
I may know who you're talking about. I'm gonna pull her up.
Yeah, she's got dark, long brown hair, and she's got a Monroe piercing.
I think so.
So I found her because she did a reel that popped up in my algorithm, and it was like or she did like a video like, dear younger self, like look at what we're doing, and like it just brought tears to my eyes, and it inspired me to do some journaling. But like I immediately followed her, and like I have no aspirations to go to space, but just watching her be a woman in STEM,
Yep.
beautiful, and she likes to dress for the occasion.
Love
Like,
that. Doesn't she have a daughter too, I think?
yeah, her daughter's
okay,
name's
yeah.
Delta.
Shut up. First of
Yeah.
all, so cute. I'm putting that down as a name, Delta. Why do I love that so much? Because
Yeah, and people give her a hard time because it's like a science name. They're like, okay, you just made that up or whatever. And it's like, it's cute.
I think it's adorable. And it also makes me think of like the deltas of like, like the Mississippi Delta or like the up there,
Yeah.
like the deltas. Like, I don't know.
So
Love that.
Yeah. I love a woman who can do it all. Be smart,
Same.
fashionable, and domestic.
I don't know. Sometimes I get frustrated with the feminist movement because I feel like I don't fit in, like I feel like I'm a square peg in a round hole sometimes. And that's my frustration with the feminist movement, because I've encountered some women who feel like I'm not fitting into the mold like the way they want. And it's like, no, I am for women, but I have my way and there's things that I do and my opinion is my opinion. I'm not invalidating yours, don't invalidate mine.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We all have a seat at the table. If we embrace each other, the better we're going to be. I've always been
100%.
like that when I've been in like manager positions. It's like, I want to utilize my entire team for what they're good for. We need to know each other's strengths and weaknesses, and we need to embrace our strengths and mesh them together, because then we're going to have a kick-ass team.
Absolutely. And I think people like forget that. I think there's like, well, I mean, because we're all a little bit selfish at the end of the day. So I think like we forget to embrace everybody else because we're so tightly wound to our opinions sometimes.
Yeah. But Anywho.
You know, I mean, no, I was gonna say, I know, like, I swear this movement, I was gonna say this movie brings out different emotions towards different things, and it really kind of motivates you to, I feel motivated to do something right now. I don't know what exactly it is, but I feel like I have to make some move to do something.
Yeah.
So
I
I feel,
know. It makes me like, I don't know. Well, my thing lately, we're going off topic again, and I got Amber somewhat. I kind of dragged her in this, and I'm like, you're taking this journey with me as I discovered what my season is.
yes, yes. No, I'm glad you're doing this because I'm obsessed.
Yeah. So, guys, I don't know. There's like paid things. I just read articles to figure out what I was, and I'm a true autumn, and
Yep.
Amber is too. And so
Yep.
we made a Pinterest board to share, and just so we know each other's colors and stuff. So that's like my feminist journey right now. It's like I want to like have my wardrobe like flatter me.
It's a good idea. I know I need to revamp my wardrobe, but my first step is to clean things out because I haven't
Yeah.
cleaned my closet out in a couple of years at least. And so I've just got a bunch of garbage. So until I get rid of it, I don't have space. Oh, I have space. Like I can always buy more, but it's mentally I don't have space
Yeah.
to produce outfits. So
Yeah.
I'm on that journey with you. It's just I'm like a year behind. But I'm coming, I swear. But no, but the color I'm obsessed with right now, which is not even like color related to like the autumns and stuff, but I'm just obsessed with sage green. Like I want to decorate everything
yeah.
in my house sage green.
See, I had that moment too, but it's not flattering on my skin.
I
But
know, me neither.
I love a sage green too.
That's why I'm like, okay, it doesn't look good on me. Also, I put on this weird, like palish kind of pink today, and it made me look bad.
Yeah, the
I took it
pale
off.
colors don't work with us.
It washed me out, and it made me think of the like autumn. It was
Yeah.
like true
And
autumn.
see, that's I'm with you. Like I'm not ready to buy more right now, but I do need to kind of get rid of things that don't flatter me.
Same, yeah.
My closet is kind of like exploding right now and needs cleaned out anyway, but that kind of
Yeah.
helps me know what to throw out.
Yeah, and then it lets you kind of know what to get to, which is
Yeah.
nice. I know you had talked about wanting like a capsule wardrobe at one point, like the ones where you can, are you still like into that potentially?
Kind of like I don't know how realistic it is, but
Yeah.
and like I see people that have the capsule wardrobes, but then I see them in other outfits beyond their capsule wardrobes. I'm like, I don't know if you really follow this minimalism movement, or they'll
Yeah.
just wear it for a season and then get a new one. And like I like to wear my clothes for decades.
No, literally me too. I can go in my closet and I'm like, I owned you when I was in college. This
No,
needs to go.
No, I have my raincoat.
Yeah.
I've had it since I was 12 years old, so 20 years now. I
Yeah.
bought it at Costco in California right before we moved to Arizona, and I still use that coat to this day.
Yeah. No, you're like me. Some people like low key, like I get style changes, but like things like that, why do I have to get another one? Why
Yeah.
do I have to change it? There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
I totally
So.
feel you on that. Okay, talk about a tangent about fashion.
Hey, this is the episode to do it, right? Legally
I swear. Okay, yeah, so yeah, sorry for getting off topic with our fashion here. I mean, we just, like I said, we get riled up when we Legally Blonde just does something to you. You want to reread your new phone?
We'll have our new phone. Who dis? Okay, so I'll read it monotone and then I'll read it in the diction.
Okay.
I said Schneeky Schnorman Schniller. It means please don't hurt me in German.
It's like on the tip of my tongue, but I can't like.
Do you want me to act it out?
Yeah, act it out.
Okay.
Let's see.
I said Schneeky Schnorman Schniller. It means please don't hurt me in German.
Oh God. I think that made it even worse for me.
That was a bad impression, but I cannot match this person.
It's okay. I give up because I can't think.
Okay, it was Raven to Alana.
Oh my God, of course. I was like, I can't picture who did this, but it's like a jokester person. And I thought it was Disney. I just couldn't figure out who from Disney.
Yeah. So it's from That's a Raven.
Oh, I love it.
Well, that wraps up this episode. So we hope you enjoyed it, guys. And we need a poll for today.
Oh,
Yeah. We'll figure out some lines. Like,
okay, so bend and snap could be one of them, and then if you want to pick another like iconic
Okay.
line.
so we'll do bend and snap, and then I'm taking the dog, dumbass.
Yes. Okay, perfect.
So best Jennifer Coolidge part of this movie will be our poll. So we're gonna add that. If you're on YouTube, we'll add that to our feed. So look in your feed for our poll, and then if you are on Spotify, you can vote. Otherwise, check our Instagram stories because we take the polls there too. And we'll catch you next week.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for tuning in to Posh and Plastic. Please subscribe to our podcast so you get new episodes as soon as they're available. It would be so fetch if you rated us 5 stars and leave us a review. Also, be sure to connect with us on social media. We're Posh and Plastic on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. We'll see you next Throwback Thursday for our next episode.